was a home win, but they had to fight heavily for that result. Like Sunderland, for what they lacked in creativity, there was a real competitive edge to that game. And Arsenal, they ran away with it by the end. But for the majority of the game, it was a really good matchup, really, really good. So they deserve credit for that. And now we talk about as it stands. Yeah. So we've got some great statisticians at the BBC and all this stuff. And one guy, Chris Collinson, really good guy, except he took us off the mailing list not too long ago, Jules.
He added us back yesterday.
Yeah, no, because I told him to.
This is for like your weekly stats, ain't it?
Yeah, because I told him to. But he said the 9-point gap as it exists right now is the biggest gap that Arsenal have had at the top of the league since they won the league in 2004. And that feels really significant because through all the years where they might have been criticised for not being able to get over the line, like 9 points heading into the middle of February, to me feels quite significant. Obviously, Joe has had a significant comeback in, say, 2012 and others. But in terms of the race itself, it feels like Arsenal are the ones who can set the pace. And they're so robust in how they try and play with enough flair and finesse to do whatever they need to do. That for City, yes, it's almost like they have to win at Anfield to maintain a level of belief that maybe something positive can happen further down the road, instead of it being like a stride-for-stride race, in my opinion.
But then Pep won't prepare this game thinking about the 9 points anyway. He's won 1 in 6 in the Premier League. He's preparing this game against one of the best teams in the league. The team that they beat at the Etihad, we were all there back in November comfortably. But he's preparing this game thinking, I need to sort this team and get this team more consistent, better defensively with the ball, get Haaland scoring again regularly every game like before, as much as possible. Not so much about the 9 games, because right now for him, the priority has to be making this team better. Because if this team doesn't improve, forget about even the league, but the Champions League is there, the League Cup final when they play, the FA Cup coming up, all of that. So surely the priority even goes beyond those 9 points. Yeah, of course, you need to win because 9 points starts to be really significant. But there's a lot of other things that you need to think about before this game, even more than the 9 points.
Yeah, I agree. You've got to be really strong in this situation and not start thinking about planning like next 3 weeks how we're going to claw the points back, whether Arsenal might potentially. This is a real moment for Manchester City to really worry about Manchester City. I totally agree with you and Pep to worry about the squad that's in front of them and getting a performance, because they've just not been able to put 90 minutes together. I was at the Etihad as a fan for one of the first times in a long time at the Newcastle game.
Yeah.
And as comfortable as it was, it also wasn't. In Newcastle, I didn't think Newcastle really turned up with any real intent. It looked like they were saving their players for the weekend, and they were 2-0 down, and they were playing smart with their top 4 credentials. But City were vulnerable, but they were so good. They're so good.